This is my audience.
What?
Oh. Okay. How to cook, how to file taxes, how to build credit, how to manage finances. These are just a couple of the basic adult tasks that many of you wish had been taught to them in high school. 57.1% of you didn't know what home economics courses are, nor what is taught during them. So it might surprise some of you to hear that all of these things that you just wish you could have learned are taught in home economics courses. Knowing that these basic adult tasks are taught in these classes, do you think entering adulthood might have been easier on you or others had it been required for all high school teachers to teach? Over the past few weeks, I've researched home economic courses that, what they teach and how learning from them can prove beneficial to those entering in early adulthood. Of those surveyed, 100% believe that home economic courses were moderately to extremely important for life after high school and adulthood. 100% also believe that they should be required in high schools. Today I'm going to tell you why home economic courses are indeed important and should be a required course in high schools because they teach valuable tasks and lessons that we need to survive and live independently. It can also be difficult for some youth to learn at home from parents, but it can also play a helpful role in reducing obesity. So I'll begin today by explaining a little bit more about home economics and discuss why these courses are necessary for us to learn. Home economics, also known as family and consumer sciences, is described in an entry of the Funke-Wagner's New World Encyclopedia as being the interdisciplinary study of individual and family resource and home management. Years ago, home economics was known as teaching skills like cooking and nutrition, cleaning, craft work like sewing, and hygiene In the present, however, it's come to include the learning of a child development, social and family relationships like leadership skills, finance management, tax preparation, and so much more. So why is it important? Well, these courses teach just about everything we need in order to survive adulthood. It's concerning that those of surveyed, more than half of you answered that high school left you moderately to very unprepared for adult world. If teenagers graduating from high school are feeling unprepared for adulthood and how to live independently, why aren't schools putting in more effort into making sure we succeed with or without college education? Toya Donovich, in an article for NPR on food and consumer sciences, noted that in 2012, there was 38% decrease of students enrolled in FCS classes in secondary schools over the course of a decade. There was also a notable shortage on teachers qualified to teach these courses. This is due to the budget cuts, an overall stigma against home economics as being anti-feminist and women's work, and surprisingly, the No Child Left Behind Act, which placed more importance on test scores and diverted more funding to tested subject areas like STEM. From my own experience, I didn't receive the opportunity to learn from a home economics course. I didn't have classes that taught me how to make a simple soup, how to file my taxes, or even how to apply for a credit card or build my credit. Everything I thought I should have learned before becoming an adult was never taught to me as a teenager. So when I graduated and was thrust into adulthood, I was vastly unprepared for what life had in store for me. Many children and teenagers aren't taught many of these things that need to know in order to be prepared to live independently while at home either. This could be for a manner of reasons like a busy work schedule or simple disinterest in teaching. In an article penned by Maren McKenna for National Geographic, she details a conversation between her, writer, and a cooking teacher, Jacqueline Church, and the blogger and novelist Charlotte McQuinn. McQuinn discusses how she finds that many people are afraid of cooking, whether fearful of the results or having food going to waste because of it not being good or just simply not being used. Some are even afraid of holding the knife and lack basic cooking knowledge. Some states require that students complete coursework in food and consumer sciences in secondary schools or programs. However, it's often offered as only an elective. In Montana, for example, only 100 of 170 high schools offer a FCS-based class. A lack of FCS-based classes affects everyone, as these courses are vital to teaching us not only the vital skills we need for adulthood and independent living, but also proper nutrition in order to lead healthier lifestyles. FCS classes can not only teach you how to create healthy recipes, but break down food science and nutrition as well. We're taught what the ingredients we cook with do, what benefits and the nutrients that provide us with, and how to read nutrition labels and shelf lives in order to figure out what is best for us to buy and consume. In a world where obesity rates are only rising by the day, more importance should be placed on teaching proper nutrition to our youth. How are we expected to feed ourselves as adults when we aren't taught how to cook, how to read labels, or pinpoint what's the healthiest for us to eat, or how to shop and meal plan? So I hope that by now you can see why home economic courses are important for us to learn from. Now let's discuss how we can work today towards making sure these courses become an integral part of high school. In a periodical by James Patterson in which he discusses the current state of food and consumer sciences, Patterson notes that there's some efforts being put forth already to make FCS courses more recognized in high school. The National Association of State Administrators of Family and Consumer Sciences has made a new framework in career and technical education in order to help FCS leaders understand how to use the FCS field to meet the economic and workforce demands. It places a spotlight on FCS classes as valuable stepping stones to multiple fields of work and study, such as the culinary arts or clothing and textile fields. A growing interest in FCS fields and increased recognition of their importance by schools and families also give a positive outlook for the future of added FCS coursework to the classes and to schools. Organizations like Food Corps are also stepping in to fill the need for FCS learning by offering lessons about food and healthy eating, food growth, and how food can be processed also. My plan of action is focused on making FCS learning as available as possible, whether it be required course, elective, or even after-school programs that are easily accessible. Step 1 of my plan involves reworking FCS courses altogether. In her book, Remaking Home Economics, Resourcefulness and Innovation in Changing Times, Sharon Nichols discussed how many FCS courses focus on technical teaching skills. And I want to ensure that these courses are inclusive of financial literacy, nutrition, social relationships, and even topics of environmental sustainability like recycling and composting. Step 2 of my plan involves working towards finding more educators to teach FCS classes. With the decline in FCS teachers over the years due to budget cuts and lack of teachers qualified to teach general education, I believe there needs to be more importance placed on educators to learn beyond their field of interest. Why stop at teaching math, teachers, or teaching how to math? Why not teach our future educators to help their students learn how to resolve and tackle real-life problems and experience like leadership skills or problem solving? We need to focus school budgets on affording educators that are highly qualified for these positions, while also hiring educators that are multifaceted and capable of teaching different subject matters. Step 3 of the plan involves having our public school system make home ec courses a required part of learning curriculum. We need to advocate and fight for our children and teens to have the opportunity to learn how to survive past high school and into adulthood. Schools need to place just as much importance on home ec as they do on subjects like English and algebra. Parents also need to take more accountability for their teaching their teenagers how to do simple tasks that can make adulthood so much easier for them. Now imagine what kind of life our teenagers could live if they're better prepared for the world. Home ec courses would provide a vital stepping stone into adulthood and FCS related career paths. Teenagers can also enter adulthood with a full sense of what is expected of them. There's also confidence in knowing that they know how to manage their money, their finances, save where they can, and comfort knowing that they can provide themselves proper and healthy meals. An assurance that they are capable of surviving independently, able to maintain and purchase a home or a car because, well, they've been taught how mortgages and loans work. Teens that have been taught FCS can be left dizzy and unsure as they're thrust into adult after graduating. How do I file my taxes? How can I apply for a credit card, financial benefits? How can I do all these things that adults are supposed to do? Well, as you can see, home economics can teach these lessons that are not only valuable for adulthood and independent living, but for teaching skills that can be difficult to learn at home and proper nutrition for leading healthy lifestyles and preventing obesity. It is important that we all advocate for home economics courses to be required in high school classrooms in order to ensure our teenagers enter adulthood fully prepared. Thank you. And this is my audience. They did not leave. Ooh. Okay, I don't give a fuck how long it is. Wait.
No.